Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, it's that time of year. That time of year when people are thinking about selling their motorcycle. And yeah, I can't blame you. You know, it's you've ridden a while, you think you might want to upgrade, so you got to sell your bike. And so I've got some tips on selling bikes. I bought and sold over 25 bikes through the past few years. Quite a few, and I've learned a lot of things. I've done a lot of things wrong, and I've been real successful in some things and not so successful in others. But anyway, I wanted to share my experience. I bought my first motorcycle back in 1976. I think when I was in the Navy, I bought a little Honda 250 off-road bike. It was an XL 250, had a lot of fun with it. But I traded up to a 550, and then I again traded up to a GL 1000 when they first came out. And I loved that bike. I wish I still had it. But anyway, I want to give you a few tips. So these are things that I've learned selling bikes through the years. So one of the best tips I can give you, I'll put at the end of the video. It's the best tip that I've ever learned, and it just helped me a lot in selling bikes and selling my bike. So, all right, so the first thing you want to know is selling a bike, it's like a scammer's paradise. I mean, you're going to get contacted by scammers, and what they're after, they don't really want to buy your bike, they want your personal information. They want to know where you live, what your phone number is, what your email address is, and they'll do anything to get that information from you. And they have no intention of buying your bike. So try to weed those guys out early. You can usually tell because they're usually the ones that respond like right away. As soon as you post the ad, like within 5 minutes, you get a hit. Is your bike still for sale? I want to buy it. So the best thing you can do is try to engage them in a meaningful conversation before you give out any information. That's probably the best tip I can give you. And when it comes down to it, if they still act interested, just ask them when you're going to be in the area, wherever you live, and then you'll send them the address. But try to protect your personal information at all costs. All right, next thing, make sure that your bike is clean and presentable. You know, nothing turns me off worse when I go look at a bike than to see it stuffed in the back hole of a garage somewhere, covered in cobwebs and dust, and they have to move 1,000 things just to get to it. Obviously, you know that the bike's been neglected, and that's a huge strike one for me. I mean, I've bought bikes like that. You can generally, if you have a good eye, you can tell what you're getting. But if you want to sell your bike, just make sure it's presentable, like you knew what you're doing with it. Clean it up, oil the chain, do all the maintenance, have all the maintenance up to date, and make sure your bike is presentable. You don't want them just to kind of go whoa when they first see the bike. All right. I would also say be honest and upfront. If there's something wrong with your bike, just point it out. Don't let them try to find it. Don't stand back and let them look at the bike and just be like a silent, just somebody silent, because that raises a lot of suspicion, at least it would in my mind. So don't let them just look the bike over and ask questions like, when did you last oil the chain? You know, a lot of times they'll know more about the bike than you do, than you've ever had. And they'll ask you a question just to see if you're lying. So be right up front, be honest, make your bike presentable, try to point out the things that you know are not real up to snuff on your bike. Like say maybe you need a new chain. You know you need a new chain, just tell them up front and say, you know what, I think it needs a new chain and here's why. Something like that. Many will want you to provide a VIN report, the VIN number report, and they'll really press for this. And I almost fell for that once, but ultimately what I found out is the guy is just trying to sell me a service, and he wants me to buy it. And that's his business. He goes and he looks for people selling stuff and tries to get them to sign up for their VIN service. And I'll tell you right now, you don't need it. You can show them the VIN number, and if they want to do their homework, they can go look at accident reports and do whatever. Show them the VIN number, who cares? but let them do the paying. Sometimes those things are pretty spendy, and you get roped into that, and they've got you. All of a sudden, they're not interested in your bike anymore, and you end up paying them. They've snagged you, so kind of a scam there. So be careful with that. Take good pictures. If you want to see something on a bike, they want to see it. Get a close-up of the engine. All the places where things tend to break, like nuts and bolts that rust out, or chain. Get close-up of the chains, or the exhaust, or just anything that you might think that they'd be interested in. Give them a nice close look. If you've got a turn signal and one of them is just kind of hanging off the side like that, and you know it's broken, get a close-up of it and then highlight it in the ad. But take really good pictures. Take a lot of them. Even take a video. Take a lot of pictures. If they want to see it, then if you want to see it, then they probably would want to see it too. And then the write-up. Well, I've seen bikes, really nice bikes, and they have a write-up it's a book. You feel like you're reading a book. You have to scroll down page. You know, obviously they've copied and pasted a whole bunch of stuff, and honestly I get lost in the reading. I don't really care. I've done my research when I'm going to buy a bike. I know what I'm looking for. I don't want to have to read a book. I don't want to have to be convinced that this bike is the best bike on the market. You just don't need it. I think it turns a lot of people off looking for bikes if they have to read a book. Just highlight the main points and leave room for questions. Invite them to come and see the bike and see for themselves if they really like it. Not that you're trying to hide anything, but just, you know, let them decide on their own. So don't write a book. Be short, to the point. Another thing you can do is, what if they do come and see your bike, build a relationship. You know, a lot of times buying and selling is not about whether your bike is the best or it's priced the best. It's about whether or not they trust you. Do they like you? Build a relationship. You know, ask them about themselves. See what you have in common. And boy, a lot of times you'll find that will be the trick that just gets you through. You've made a friend and they feel safe buying from you. So build that relationship. Don't be fakey. Be honest. Be genuine. And I think that'll go a long way. And then smile. Smile as you're talking about your bike. If you can't smile, if you're frowning, or if you're short with your words, you're short with your answers, that gives the impression that you're hiding something and that your bike is a dud. If your bike is a dud, tell them it's a dud. You know it is, but make sure it's priced accordingly. Don't try to get something for, you know, nothing makes me more mad than to go and see a bike and the pictures are great, but the bike obviously is not what the pictures show. The bike is obviously a dud in my mind, and I spot several things wrong with it, and it's just a disappointment, and it kind of makes me mad that I wasted my time. So I'll politely say, well, I got other bikes to look at. I'll let you know. All right. Another thing that people tend to do is they'll have their eye on another bike that they want, and they just can't resist. They gotta have it, so they'll go buy it. And they'll lock themselves into payments. Maybe they don't have the cash yet, because they know that, oh, I'll sell my other bike, and with the money that I get from that bike, I'll put it towards my new bike, and then all will be good. Wrong. Unless you want to have two bikes, just plan on having two bikes, because when that happens, you're kind of locked in to that bike. It might not sell. You might be stuck with it. And then if you really do want to sell it, you're not going to get what you want for it. So I would always advise, if you're going to plan on having one bike, sell your bike first and then go buy the bike you want. You might even change your mind about the bike you want after selling the one and talking to other people. So obviously just take your time, sell your bike, take your time looking for a bike. That's my advice, sell it. Let's see. One other thing about selling your bike first. The longer it sits, if you have two bikes, you're gonna ride the bike you really like, and the other bike's gonna sit. and maybe you'll just lose track. Your ads expired and now you got 2 bikes and it's just sitting there collecting dust and rust, and the longer it sits, the less valuable it becomes. So you want to sell it at the right time and get the highest dollar you can for it. Okay, so this leads me up to the best advice that I can give it. It all has to do with pricing your motorcycle. Obviously, you want to check. People say check Kelley Blue Book, because a lot of times people will say, well, you know, your bike's listed for $3,500. KBB says it's only worth $2,500. You know, I don't think I can justify buying your bike. So yeah, you want to check Kelley Blue Book. You want to check Edmunds, any other bike magazines or whatever that talk about bikes values. You want to check those. But and here's the biggest advice I can give you. You're in competition selling your bike, whether you know it or not. You're not the only one that has a bike like yours. When people are out looking for bikes, they're looking for a bike like yours, but there's other bikes for sale around the same year, make, model, same type of bike. Maybe it's an adventure bike, maybe it's a cruiser, or what have you. So there's other bikes that are really like yours. So that's your competition. So pretend like you're the buyer and you're going to go out and try to buy a bike that like the one you're selling. What's out there? Like I use Facebook Marketplace a lot, or sometimes Craigslist. So go shop those sites as if you're buying your bike. What are other people selling theirs for? If Kelley Blue Book says your bike is worth $2,500 or $3,500, but people are selling them for $3,000, you can list yours for $3,500, but guess who's going to get theirs sold? Somebody's going to go and buy that one for $3,000 just because they listed it a little bit less. So find out what other people are selling theirs for, and see, you know, based on your bike, what you think it's worth, all the mods that you've done, and price it accordingly. Because ultimately, that's your competition, is those other sellers out there. I guarantee you, if you make a list of those and you list your bike for maybe just a little less, maybe $100 less, they're gonna contact you first because you've got it listed at the right price. All right, so ultimately, it's a really good time of the year. Right now, it's springtime, it's March here in Oregon. I still ride my bike, I ride it all year round. I've got that Himalayan right behind me there. I just love that bike. I'm not going to sell it, but I know that others have had bikes like mine. They want to upgrade, they want to get a bigger bike, they want to go maybe change styles of riding, who knows. But right now it's a good time to sell because people are looking. You know, the weather's starting to get nicer, and the more bikes you see on the road, that triggers people to say, man, okay, I got to start looking, I got to sell my bike and I got to buy the bike that I want. So a lot of bikes are going to change hands this time of year. So just remember those points. Remember, your biggest competition is those other people selling their bikes, those who you're up against. So anyway, good luck. I'll do another video about buying bikes as well. I've bought a lot of bikes too, and I've made a lot of mistakes. But I think I got some good tips I can offer you there. Anyway, good luck. Happy riding. And boy, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do some riding. We're going to do some camping, and I'll have some more videos coming your way. And so stay tuned for that. Good luck. Take care. Bye.